have a real live hate for Robert.
She really wanted Robert to be done with. She wanted him to be finished. And it's something else I did that I have to admit to. The day they released a photo of the cut on her neck, we all jumped on what we called then a headquarters call. She was freaking out. She said he's going to leave me. We have to fix this. We got to fix it. So what did she do? She sent me a lot of photos. A lot of photos of when Robert did when they got into it at Amora's birthday party. And she told me to throw that photo in with the new photo and blame it on Robert. So I came out here to you guys and did a live video. And what I did, I chunked all the photos together. I chunked all the photos together and blamed it on Robert.
So I grabbed his phone, and then I'm looking through messages. So that's when I said, "Who is Precious?" He snatches the phone from me. Now, I'm like, "Why are you snatching the phone from me?" I grab his laptop next. I'm trying to enter the password, trying to guess passwords, and he snatches the computer out of my hand. So he has 2 computers and 2 phones. So I'm like, okay, he put his phone in his pocket. Now I'm trying to get the phone out of his pants pocket. I'm trying to get the phone. We in a tussle. I'm trying to get the phone out of his pocket, right? Okay, so after that, we in like a WWE rap move. I don't even know what to call it, but we on the couch, and he got me so tight. So I'm like pushing his head like this to get off of me. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he finally get up. I grab my pepper spray. And so I went over there and I grabbed the computer. Okay. So I spray the pepper spray because now you're still trying to attack me. So I spray the pepper spray. Because now you're still trying to attack me. Next thing I know, he takes this big ass toe and put it on top of me. Boom, slams it right on top of my head with pressure. Boom.
Honestly, looking back on all this stuff since October, you basically used me and my daughter to gain your little fame. You think you're famous now. I want to tell you one thing. You're not famous. Brianna, your soul is ugly. And when I say your soul, you might have these enhancements of being beauty on the outside, per what you say, what beauty is. But you just don't know how dark you look in your eyes, your soul.
To the person in my comment section talking about they feel like I just came into this motherfucker for clout, I've been had clout. I got the most clout when a bitch put a bag on my head. And then I got more clout after that. Well, actually, before that, when I was talking about how my baby daddy was throwing my ass through TVs and all the domestic violence and bullshit that I was going through. Yes, I have a real live hate for Robert. And that's just because I see so much of the bullshit that I dealt with my baby daddies in his motherfucking ass. But I'm also...
Would you turn around and expose her booty cheeks and say you trying to prevent some shorts from getting wet when you totally, in my opinion, violated her privacy by jacking her shorts up her tail, exposing her skin? Thank you for calling. You're speaking with the internet, sister. How can I help you?
Hi, Internet Sister. I'm calling because I'm on the topic with LaTruth and the young lady. It really got under my skin because I have daughters that's the age of that young lady.
Rocking with me, supporting me, y'all gonna forever be able to have chin up, chest out. I ain't never gonna mislead y'all, but y'all got to drop y'all head. I know how that shit feel to be an embarrassed supporter. For the person that you supporting embarrass you. That's why I started calling LaTruth stinking mouth ass out. Because he had me out here looking like a whole asshole. We one band, one sound. We are in it together.
Now, I know y'all been watching this probably go down on social media. If you follow these fake motherfuckers, okay? I'm not surprised at all. But you know what I was surprised about? is when Mrs. LaTruth had her people call me to do an interview. Mrs. LaTruth, okay? Now, Mrs. LaTruth was introduced to us by influencer, social media, Facebook star, and IG star, Mr. LaTruth, okay? And so they did family vlogs, pranks, all that shit, okay, that you see, right? And they promoted positivity and self-help and love and great relationships, all for the camera, right? Now, apparently he met Mrs. LaTruth, who he called, her real name, Brianna. But, he met her, gave her the name, let her assume the name and the brand that he had already built, okay? And then they kind of became one of them social media families, okay? Pushing all this positive shit. And, wiped up, married up, gave her a motherfucking brand and a name, and now she out here trying to tear and lie your ass down, okay? Just let me tell you something. There's an agenda. Calling the police with you filming her talking about you got a gun and you beating her ass. They calling me saying, oh my gosh, she's been traumatized and he beats her and he abuses her. And I'm like, do you have a police report? Well, she's called the police, but they won't do anything. You have any videos? No. Meanwhile, he just dropping video after video on her ass, okay? Every lie she fucking tell, he drop it, counteract that shit, and it's just getting worse, and it's worse, and it's worse. And so her team was like, she wants to sit down with Tasha K. You're the only person that can get to the bottom of this. Yes, she's known on Facebook. He's known on Facebook. It's his Facebook. But she wants to move her brand over to YouTube. She got her ass beat. Mm-hmm. She was abused. Mm-hmm. And no police report. Mm-mm. But she wants to do an interview with me, and I'm on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But the focus is to move her brand from Facebook to YouTube. Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. Why not? I wanted her to sit down. Because I was going to have her explain every fucking video that she was caught lying on. And they wanted me to pay her for the interview. Even though they contacted me. And then they tried to explain to you to tell me that it would be beneficial for me to bring this lying ass bitch on my platform so she could help build a brand for her on YouTube. But it would have helped me. But not her from getting her ass beat.
Now, before I even begin, let's give it up for Tasha K, who saw through all the BS and called this thing for what it truly was only 2 months after that infamous tote incident took place. She ran down the play from A to Z, and now we're living in the aftermath, watching these black women spiral out of control over one black man. And they're harboring the anger of 100 gorillas. I want to talk about something I've been seeing a lot more of lately. And that's the way some black women are reacting to Robert Hampton. Y'all know him as LaTruth, with such deep disgust, anger, and even hatred. But the thing that really gets me is most of these women have never even met this man. I'm not just speaking of the ones on my thumbnail, although those are some of the biggest culprits. I'm talking about the content creators and their supporters who initially started supporting the wife, the now ex-wife. So where's all that negative emotion really coming from? At this late stage of the game, I'm talking years later. You scroll through comments and watch video reactions, and it's not just a disagreement or critique, it's outright rage. You'll hear some women saying things like, he gives me narcissist vibes. I can tell he's abusive. He reminds me of my ex. He's gaslighting his ex. I don't care what anybody says. Now listen. I'm not here to defend LaTruth today or say he's innocent, because listen, we are way past all of that now. I don't know the full story behind his marriage or the drama, and neither do you. But what I do know is energy. And a lot of what we're seeing
This ain't at all about LaTruth. It's about a wound. There's a difference between calling out toxic behavior and projecting your pain onto someone who triggers something in you. A lot of these women grew up with fathers who abandoned them or didn't protect them, with uncles, stepdads, or cousins who crossed the line, with boyfriends or husbands who broke them down emotionally or physically and mentally. So when they see a man like LaTruth, confident, vocal, and rarely defensive, it hits a nerve. But they don't see Robert. They see that man who hurt them, that father who left, or that ex who lied to them. And what we're witnessing is unhealed trauma being repackaged as outrage. Now let's go deeper. This hurt doesn't just live in individuals. It lives in collectives, in friend circles, in social media communities, where bitterness and distrust toward black men is shared and validated, not healed, but justified. That's when sisterhood becomes a trauma bond. That's when it turns sour. They gather not to grow, but to agree. To team up in unison to find their hunger for revenge. One band, one sound. You heard it. Black men ain't They can't be trusted. Protect black women by avoiding black men altogether. And when one of those women see a man like LaTruth, who reminds her of her pain, suddenly she's on a mission. Not to hold him accountable, but to punish every man who ever hurt her through him. You heard Sherelle Hodges. She hates LaTruth and she doesn't even know him from a can of paint. Here's why that's dangerous. When we don't name our trauma, it starts showing up in places it doesn't belong. We become reactive. We lose the gift of discernment. We end up silencing people who might actually be trying to explain themselves or grow because we assume they're our enemy. You can dislike what a man says or how he moves, but when the intensity of your reaction is way bigger than the moment, you owe it to yourself to ask, who am I really talking to? And to the sisters out there who feel angry watching LaTruth or men like him, I see your pain. I believe your story. You didn't make it up. But please know that your healing is your responsibility. You can't go through life wounding other people because no one helped you heal. You're not weak for being triggered, but you're also not powerful if your trigger runs your entire worldview. It's okay to log off sometimes. It's okay to go get therapy. It's okay to admit what you're feeling ain't just about him. And to the black men watching this, especially those like LaTruth, understand that some of this hate isn't really about you. But also understand if you've ever played a role in somebody's pain, you need to acknowledge it. Not all anger is projection. Some of it's a response to patterns. Be willing to listen, not just defend. At the end of the day, y'all, black women are tired. Black men are tired too, especially black fathers. And everybody's walking around bleeding and calling it, keeping it real. But until we start projecting and start processing, we'll keep turning each other into punching bags instead of partners. So next time you see someone being dragged online, ask yourself, is this justice? Or is this just unhealed pain looking for a target? Because a lot of what sounds like hate is really just hurt with no place to go. We see how these women have been treating LaTruth over the past couple of years. Brianna tried so hard to get that man locked up that she ended up in jail herself. Platinum braces and a mugshot. Jeannie and Amora go live nearly every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day, for hours, to talk about how horrible LaTruth is. And together, that dynamic duo has enlisted an entire sisterhood of bitter, broken women. A whole haven for the unhealed and unhappy. Man, LaTruth, I'm so glad you don't have any sons. I'm serious because you see how these women have no regard for your daughter's feelings. They're dragging the only real father in their life. Your son will get crucified just for being the son of LaTruth. Another blackmail. Lord, let's continue to pray for these women. That's all we can really do at this point. Imagine how their pain translates outside of social media, though. Whew, Lord, I don't even really want to think about that. We're only getting a glimpse of how they treat one man, and I'm talking about LaTruth. It's no wonder the men in their romantic lives decided to throw up the deuces. One stuck around, though, I guess to prove that he's stronger than the husbands before him who ended up in divorce court. A soldier. Jay! Oh, well, that's it, y'all. I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know that we're not dealing with a bunch of angry birds. We're dealing with injured birds. Ones with their wings damaged. And it was a male bird that caused them pain. A black bird. One that left them with no song left in their voice box. A sad song, maybe. Can we show them a little grace? I'm not talking about letting their actions go unchecked. Nah, we ain't doing that. But unless they go heal behind the scenes, we can only expect more of the same from them. At least you know now why it's happening, because the only other explanation is that they're crazy and deranged. I'm sorry, LaTruth. You get to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Keep recording everything. You're a soldier. And thankfully, there are a lot of strong, black, healed, and level-headed women who stand in support of you. And we're more than just a sisterhood. We're a conscious community of mothers, aunties, grandmothers, sisters, nieces, and cousins. And shout out to Cousin Mika. We can't fight the battle for you, no pun intended, but we can arm you with the love and protection that black women have been giving our black men since the very beginning of time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.